What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. We've had a very, very busy day here in Cowboys land, but I want to set the record straight here because we've got the Cowboys making a trade for Jonathan Phillips. Jonathan Phillips is 6'6", 341 pounds, 31 years old, has 24 sacks in his career, averages about anywhere from 15 to 25 tackles. His peak year as a left defensive tackle had 9.5 sacks. Don't know if that was a contract year or what, but that's steady. That's real steady. Now, let me clarify something here real quick because I was getting ready to do my fireside chat. I was going to talk about the Cowboys. Had another injury at one of their backup offensive tackles, and that they signed an offensive tackle for depth and things. I don't know anything about either of those guys and have to do some more work on it, but we've had a lot of things just getting back to the Red Brick House after being gone for 2 weeks. But I saw that come across literally about 10 minutes ago. I did a video on it, put it up in there. It was in Brian's chat and talking about the Cowboys signing a defensive tackle and everything else. And immediately people said, oh boy, last week you were in love with Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith was all great, this, that, and the other. And I'm trying to understand if people understand how defense works. Because depending on if you are in a 3-4 or a 4-3 defense, you can have more than one defensive tackle. You can have a nose tackle and two defensive tackles on the field at the same time. And with Mozzie being the guy, being about 310, maybe 315 pounds and things, when you have short yardage or when you are facing a team that is run heavy, you need more than one big body, dumbasses. You need more than one body. And I want you to understand something about big guys, and you Eagle fans will know a lot about this. Big guys get tired. You know how Jordan Davis is really good for about three plays, and then he's got to come off the sideline because he's sucking wind? That's where you want to have as many good players on the field or as backups in case one of those guys get hurt. Because ultimately, the best thing to have is a rotation of guys. So, you got roughly somewhere between 55 and 70 plays in a game. If a guy plays 70 plays, he's not effective at 70 as he is at, say, the first 10. If you can go ahead and say, I've got two really good guys that can play this position and rotate them, they're fresher. Also, because they're not getting on the field as much, they're hungry because they want more playing time. Because more playing time equals more stats. More stats equals more money. This is a motivational factor. And when you look at our defense, what have we been talking about? From months ago, we said we are thin at defensive line. We are thin on offensive line. We are thin at running back. So you all think that Mozzie Smith is going to be able to be the only big man that you really have? Especially after you have Albert Higgins, a journeyman, who literally has done about the dumbest thing that you could do, is push a coach on the ground and then turn around and flick off the opposition. Gets escorted off the field. So probably, since the Cowboys traded for him, and here's what the trade entailed. The Cowboys get Jordan Phillips, the 7th round pick. The Cowboys ship the 6th round pick. Now, more than likely, here's what's going to happen. Is the Cowboys 6th round draft pick, here's where it's kind of crazy. the Cowboys should be pretty good. I will think that the Cowboys will probably be a playoff team. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think they are. If they are, then that means it's a 6th-round pick that's late in the 6th round. I think the Giants are going to stink. Cop Pizzle, Bad Dog, you might disagree with me, but I think they're going to stink, which means that 7th-round pick is probably going to be a higher 7th-round pick. They may only be 15 or 20 spaces away from that. For the Cowboys to get a player who does have experience, this isn't a UFL guy. This is a guy who at least has had experience in the NFL, has had some injuries. He is 31 years old, but for a swap of a pick, this could be like Robert Quinn. Okay, Robert Quinn, we got, tail end of his career, a little older, had some down years. We bring him in, it's a contract year. He blows up, gets a big fat contract, goes to Chicago, and goes back to sucking. Although he did play good the second year. But then the Eagles got suckered into that because they thought they were going to get, when they traded for him, a player that was getting 17 sacks, and he got none. But be that as it may, at least the Cowboys are looking and making a move. And this is where I said the Cowboys, because they lost, Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong and Tyron Smith and things, that they've got extra comp picks that they'll be getting. And they can use some of these other picks late in the round to make moves like this. I think this is a good move. I think this is a wise move to help, if nothing else, to give you another body that's experienced to be in there. Now, to be clear, this changes nothing about how I feel about Monty Smith. If anything, this makes me feel better because Osa Ndigizua is a great pass rushing defensive tackle. He's got great hands, but he's a little bit on the smaller size. You got a guy like Carl Davis. He's a little bit bigger and stuff. I want to be able to, when we have short yardage, to go to a jumbo heavy package of defensive linemen. Big immovable forces to help stop the run. So I'm looking at this contrary to what the people were, the Eagle fans that are trashing me on Game Time Brian's chat. I look at this and say, this is a good move to try out. Now, it could turn out that he is not what he used to be. He could be Don Terry Poe. We'll find out in camp. We've made moves for veterans that have had experience. Clinton Ha-Ha-Dix didn't make it out of training camp. Gerald McCoy, who had been an outstanding player, did not work out. What's his name from Minnesota? Oh, man. Can't think of his name, but he came in, didn't really bust a grape, and went back to Minnesota. Be that as it may, this could be a good move. Now, we've had that happen. We had Stephen Jones talking about CeeDee Lamb coming back, okay, and getting his contract. And basically saying he wants to see him with 12 to 15 touches this year, which would literally put him into, if we go by the percentage, okay, oh my God, it would be 197 catches and about 2,560 yards of yardage, which would be NFL records, okay? Stephen Jones trying to make sure he gets all his money. That guy. Of course, he also says that they're looking to get Dak Prescott's deal done before week 1. So we have 22 days as of right now, and in another hour and a half, it'll be 21 days. So there's that. And Diggs practicing today against the Rams. Woo, got an interception of Jimmy G. So that's where we are right now with everything that's going on with the Cowboys. At least you see some movement where you say, okay, all right, that's a start. Didn't cost you a lot. Won't hurt you monetarily. Is a player with experience. Okay, let's wait and see. And this is the type of guy, that Mike Zimmer likes. And I honestly think that maybe Albert Higgins, that he might end up losing his spot after that boneheaded practice today, and that this is the guy to replace him. I don't know that. But you can't make mistakes like that. And that sends a message to everybody. Because one thing the Cowboys have had a problem with is with discipline and accountability. We've seen our players make boneheaded mistakes and no ramifications. If Mike Zimmer and the Cowboys end up saying, Albert, Huggins, you're out of here, that will open up eyes and raise eyebrows and let people know, oh shit, yeah, that we are here about business and not about bullshit. And maybe that's exactly what the Cowboys need. So with that being said, feels good to be back home. And feels good to be able to catch my breath. I had an incredible time out in California, basically double duty. It was great to be able to help my daughter get her storage unit taken care of and her stuff taken care of and shipped back home and everything else, and to spend time with my daughters, more time than I've spent with them since probably in a long time, because they're grown, and spend time with my wife. But that was a lot, and I need a vacation from my vacation. But it feels good to be back. I've got tons of work I need to do, multiple things I need to do between the channel, because the season is only 3 weeks away, work that I need to do here on the Redbrick House, as well as some other properties. I've got work that people need their homes and stuff fixed. And brother, I don't know how many years I got left, but I need to get busy because I can't waste any of that time. And saying that, I hope you guys remember that life is short, life is precious. Make the most of your time. Make the most of your time. And always, always let the people know how you feel about them. And I love you guys. God willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Boy, what a busy day today was. Peace out.